Hello, 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 my beautiful friends. There's no holding back the flood is today's message. And I'm ready, as you can see. My name is Lorelei Fenton, and I am your roving Ancient Awakenings reporter. In my private life, I'm called the Feel-Good Guru because as a transformational personal and spiritual growth coach, I help people feel great. And to do that, we need to heal our hearts and get rid of whatever is in the way of loving ourselves and our lives, and everything else comes after that. So we're talking about the channeling on September 16th, 2018, and it was a very poignant channeling. We were visited by Master Saint Germaine, who works in the forefront of this effort. And we learned at one point, by the way, that Saint Germaine, not on this call, but we learned in the past that Saint Germaine, in one of his human forms, was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. How cool is that? So he's still working for our independence, now more than ever. After Saint Germaine, we were visited by one of the individuals known collectively as One Who Serves, and he answered our questions. One Who Serves is a collective of ascended masters who don't reveal their past earthly identities in order to highlight the fact that we are all one. Now, one of those identities did get revealed to us recently after 25 years that our channeler did not know. And yes, we can say he's quite a spiritual icon. And the moral of that for me is when One Who Serves speaks, it's a good idea for me to listen. I am listening because one big thing he said is there's no holding back the flood now. So I have my flotation device and I am ready. Now, all of these messages are channeled through James McConnell, a 25-year veteran in the channeling world, trained directly by the Ascended Masters. We also often get powerful messages from the higher self of Joanna McConnell, who is known as Shoshana. So Saint Germaine started by telling us how wonderful it is to be here with us to help us understand how this three-dimensional paradigm is fading away and being replaced by a new paradigm, or what might be called the Golden Dawn. And we are the catalyst for this change, anchoring the light, holding the light, and spreading the light. We are all looking for confirmation of this outside of ourselves. You notice that? We're looking on the internet and the TV and we're speaking with our friends. But actually, we should be looking for this confirmation within ourselves because it's the changes within that are the catalyst for the changes outside. So as the consciousness changes within, it changes without. And we just need to allow the process to happen. And it is happening as if we kind of put a pot of water on the stove on low, and it keeps warming and warming for a long time. But then we turn the heat up, and the temperature is rising quickly. And pretty soon the water is going to boil right over. And that's what's happening now. The heat is on. Woo! The temperature is rising and we're about to boil. Come on. And we're now beginning to see more and more of the effects of this. You know, the cabal, as we know it, is going to be dispersed in many, many ways. And Saint Germaine, by the way, also told us that he and also all of the company of heaven are saying, we ain't seen nothing yet. We are to hold patience and hold calm as the storm which Sananda spoke of and has spoken of approaches. President Trump said he was the storm. Actually, we are all the storm, working together to bring this about. And Saint Germaine said, if we want Nasara or Jasara, it's up to us to go get it. Make it happen. And we do that with our visualizations and our consciousness. We create the financial change and nobody else. We create the event. So go do it, we're told, and don't sit back and wait. By the way, if we have not felt we're a part of this, we should know we are doing this just by doing these meditations and being a part of this now. There's no greater or lesser part. We each make a piece of the puzzle, and each are needed to form the whole puzzle. And with that, Saint Germaine left us with the violet flame to continue to purge out the old paradigm and programming, making way for the new. The game, he said, is nearly over, and it's time to start a new game. Well, hallelujah for that! I, for one, am ready to get off this Monopoly board where someone else has all the boardwalks and all the park places and has been holding all the hotels all of these eons and eons. I'm ready to go. I hope you are too. Then came one who serves, and he said to keep on keeping on and not hold back. But at the same time, we are to stay calm and neutral within ourselves. We're advised not to attempt to be more than we are, but in every situation, to be all we can be. And if we all did that, we can't even imagine how quickly the event would come. So we all want to work together and not against each other, because we are all one. So then we had our questions. And what's with the closing down and locking up of the entire FBI Sun Observatory Facility? What's up with that? You know, the Sun Observatory, or watching, the sun. Well, someone wanted to know what's up with that. And we are told this is an attempt to keep the populace from knowing what's going on out there in space. For instance, the ships that are coming through the sun. And we spoke of this, by the way, on our discussion before the call, or before the channeling. And this ships coming through the sun is for those who have eyes to see, but it also can be seen by those who have the technology to see it. And they don't know what they saw. And they wish to hold it back, the government, the FBI, and investigate. However, it cannot be held back because the vibrations are raising more and more. The floodwaters are rising. And these ships are showing themselves more and more. And the floodgates are literally open, and water or spirit is pouring through. The cabal have attempted to hold back the ET information, but it can do so no longer. And hip, hip, hooray for that, huh? So, that's some good news. So have you wondered, by the way, where you go when you ascend to 4D or 5D? For instance, do we materialize in hollow earth or the ships or some such thing as that? Well, guess what? We don't go anywhere. We don't go anywhere. We're moving up in vibration here, just as the earth is also moving up here. It's already happening. And those moving up are not going to the fourth dimension. By the way, we're moving through the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension, or even higher as we move up and up and up in vibration. And I will say too that we've been told before, we definitely don't want to hang around in 4D, which isn't so fun in some different ways. So 5D is kind of like when we go out into nature and feel the beauty of it, and it brings the emotions up, and it brings the vibrations up. So as we move up in dimensional frequency, although we may not be aware of this yet, but we're becoming aware of it. We move up, and this causes us to move up in frequency and vibration, these kinds of experiences. So we're becoming aware of this, and it cannot be stopped. The cabal have tried everything to stop it, from chemtrails to bringing diseases and making people sick, to dampening the pineal gland so we can't use the third eye, and on and on and on. But they cannot do it. They cannot hold back the floodwaters as they break through the dam. Woo! And that's another good reason to say yippee! Here's a good one. If some reptilians visit your dreams and they seem kind of safe and friendly, One caller wanted to know, is that the Anunnaki trying to engage in peaceful communication? And we're told, first off, by One Who Serves, that all reptilians are not bad. There are many, many who are peaceful, beneficial, and benevolent. And if they come as that, they likely are that. As for this particular person, she has some connections. This caller has some connections to these individuals, some positive connections. And if she allows the process, those individuals will be able to show her some things she's not aware of. And it's good that she's not afraid of their appearance, which might be seen sometimes as scary. But there are all kinds of appearances out there, just as we have all kinds of races. And there is a sort of diversity training necessary here, so we know all the different ways that other beings can show up. And that's one reason, by the way, we had Star Wars and Star Trek and such things as that, because those things were preparing us for the difference in the appearance of different civilizations that are out there, often benevolent ones. So that's interesting, isn't it? We're soon going to see this huge variety of different looks out there in the multiverse. That's pretty cool. So why, one caller wanted to know, is it so difficult to remember our dreams? Now, this is what one caller was wondering. And One Who Serves tells us that this is different for everyone. For some, it's very easy to remember dreams. For some, it's difficult because some things are being blocked from us and because we're not ready for them. So what we can do is, before we go to sleep, we can simply say, I will remember my dreams, or I will remember my most important dreams. Then when we wake up, we kind of need to lay there and hold on to the dream and not get up for a while. We should also write the dream down if we can, and keep a dream journal. So these are all good practices for those of you who really want to remember those dreams. Here's another good question. As the storm rages outside, do you feel as if the darker sides of yourself, so to speak, are now kind of rearing their ugly heads? And do you wonder why? This caller had this question, and she was told that this is just her program memories and the many battles between dark and light that she has fought in the past. And if she sees them as just memories, they have no control over her. But if she or we see these things as the dark side of our own nature, then they have a control. See, it's not the dark side, just memories carried from life to life. And by the way, this life is the linchpin life where we will forget all of this and leave it in the past. And then Shoshana also shared that it's this person's self-judgment that's holding her back. Is that familiar to any of you out there as well? Do any of you have that by any chance, self-judgment? I can't imagine it, right? Well, here's the thing. We decide whether we are good or bad in any moment. And that has us hold on to things. So this is what Shoshana says. If we release the self-judgment, we release all of the rest, all of the holding on. And One Who Serves said yes, and this is also exercising our willpower. So we exercise our willpower not to judge. And the caller then said she didn't feel like she had much willpower here in 3D. And Shoshana said that willpower is a muscle that gets stronger when we use it. So we have to use it in small ways all the time in order for it to be strong when we actually need it in a big way. So now one of our callers wanted to have confirmation that she should move in some kind of daring new directions. And she wanted to know also if one of her next steps would be to get her screenplays out into the world. And this would assist with the Ascension process. And she was told that nothing will happen with the screenplays if they stay where they are. Fancy that. But if she can find the right ones to assist, that's what's needed. And it can't be done alone. You know, many of us like to be those loners, right? And she was also told that one issue for her is that she spreads herself too thin. And she goes this way and that way, and nothing gets done because there's no focus. So it's important for us to make focused, concentrated effort in a direction. And then the other things will begin to come to fruition. And I'm going to confess that that caller was me, guilty as charged as all those things. So if anyone wants to help me to put some focused effort into getting some screenplays out in the world that may make a big difference here for people in this ascension process, please do get in contact with me. I am open to being in partnership with all of you. So I, by the way, also asked if there was any indication as to which direction I should start with. And I was told, of course, that I had to sort that out for myself with my higher self. So go figure that one, right? Then Shoshana came on to say it doesn't matter which direction we choose, because all things we need to learn will come from any direction we choose. So that's a pretty good thing, huh? That takes the pressure off a little bit, doesn't it? That's great to know. So then we moved on. And why, asked one of our callers, do we actually have dreams? What's the point? And to this, one who serves replied, what would life be like in our sleeping state if we had no dreams? We have dreams because we can have dreams. And this allows us to spread ourselves out, meaning our multidimensional and higher selves. And we can have more experiences and more understandings than just in our waking states. And eventually this will all come together as one, the waking, the sleeping, everything. And in the higher vibrations, we won't have to worry about all of this because it will be one. So then when one of our callers said that in the meditation, he or she went to a far, far galaxy and planet where beings were inside, and they opened up to meet this person and said, we were waiting for you. And our caller wanted to know why. And this person was told this is something real for her that did happen. And those in the vision were attempting to make communication with her. And that, by the way, was all he could say on that for now. Then one who serves closed by telling us to keep on keeping on. And things are opening up for us in the sky and with the ships and in nature. And also with the elementals. We're getting various glimpses from beyond the veil, which of course is not there as we're told anymore. And it only seems to be there because of programming. The third eye is more and more needed, we're told. So we're advised to open it and to visualize, visualize, visualize. That is the way to practice using that third eye. Practice it as a sort of muscle, as Shoshana had said. And soon we're going to see more with our physical eyes. And the other senses will come alive to the reality out there. And that's it's out there, but it's kind of behind the curtain. And then one who served us left us with a Shanti and a peace be with you. And wasn't that a great channeling? I'm so excited for what's to come. And with that, I'm going to send you my love and blessings as well, along with my peace, joy, fun, play, ease, and tons of prosperity and abundance. Namaste, dear brothers and sisters.